Hey, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Slack Overflow. Now, it's going to be a little different. I'm not just going to sit here talking to myself. Instead, I've brought in some intelligent humans to talk about a little something we call the Bad Bitches Wine Night. Now, Bad Bitches Wine Night is one of those names that can make people do a double take. What? But it is such a great group of women who are getting together to support each other. And it has been in a Slack channel and a monthly call, but recently it's spun out of the virtual into in person when they all got together at this fabulous house and spent a few days just being bad bitches. Now, today we have got Sara Mannix and Laura Boyer with us, who are two of the women who made this possible. So let's start by meeting you, Sara. Share with everybody a little bit about how you came into the Bureau. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was around 2019 at Owner Summit in Austin. Is that right?
I was told about the Bureau probably 2 years before I joined it. I was told, you should be a member of this group. It's so wonderful. I think it was Jeff from 359, sort of numbers.
352, Jeff
So
Wilson.
Jeff Wilson. And then Chad Paris said, from Paris Leaf, said, oh, Sara, you should join this. So I went to a summit. He told me I had to go to a camp. You have to go to a camp. That is the absolute, and I totally agree. Everybody should go to a camp. But I went to a summit and I was blown away. It was one of the most inclusive groups I've ever been to, where there was no clickiness at all. Like people who had been there for 10 years invited me out to dinner with them and their group. And I felt like, wow, how these people are just loving and inclusive. So I was sold and I love it.
Thanks, Sara. It's true. I've been here since the beginning, obviously. And sometimes I struggle to know who's been here for 2 months or 10 years because everybody seems so well connected and just helping each other. Now, Laura, you joined the Bureau after the pandemic started, which has to be a totally different experience. Can you share with everybody sort of what that was like for you?
I did. I think I joined in November 2020 because we just celebrated my 2-year anniversary in the Bureau. I joined because I had reached out to Josh Lowen from the Status Bureau, looking to work with him on our SEO for our company. And in our conversation, he said, you should totally join the Bureau. I think I joined about 30 minutes later. Uh, It's probably one of the best things I've ever done for myself and for the business. Definitely completely changed the way I work and feel supported, and just there's complete openness and vulnerability and support. It's, as Sara said, it's the best community someone in the digital agency world could be a part of.
Thank you both so much. I'm sitting here, you're so kind, and the things you say, I'm just trying to accept and not deflect. But I think what makes me the happiest is, Laura, if I'm not mistaken, you had been a member maybe a month when you reached out to me about starting this group. And it made me so happy because, Lori and I can get so busy because we're trying to do all the things that we miss these great opportunities. But those of you that are members that are in the mix, you see them all the time. So when a member actually brings stuff to us, it's heavenly because then we can help actually keep things moving within the community. So Laura, if you don't mind, share a little bit about how this idea came to you and about when you reached out to me.
I think it was a two-step process. I think at first I reached out to you because I was feeling very lonely at the top. And I reached out to you saying, please tell me I'm not the only one. Please tell me there are other women that are sole agency owners, because everyone I was talking to was either with partners or men. I have nothing against men, but I kind of felt really lonely. And you put me in touch with Sara and Becky McKinnell. And I reached out to them, and obviously being Bureau members, they were incredibly kind with their time and just with themselves. And that's how it started. And then I thought, I can't be the only one looking for a community like that. Then I came back to you saying, okay, I've been drinking on Zoom with all these amazing women on my own. Can we bring in more people into the fold? Because who knows, maybe there are other women out there in the Bureau that are in need of finding this community.
Yeah, so it was probably about 5 years ago that we started the Women's Leadership Camp. And it's a great event. And there's an alumni channel for people, women who've attended Women's Leadership Camp. Now, I'm not in there for obvious reasons.
It's a man, baby!
But I understand that channel's a little quiet. So when you told me you were hoping to be connected with other women, part of me thought, if I put her in that channel, she's got the energy, she may kick it into gear. But then I thought, why would I do that to her when she has a energy and a passion and a regional idea for a new group? And then when you told me you wanted to call it the Bad Bitches Wine Night, well, if you had seen me, I was just like doing a little happy dance. I was like, yes, this felt fun and accessible and it had attitude and it was community building community. It was all the things you wanted. So then we got on the second call. I was at the pool bar at the Hard Rock Hotel. And you said, are you on vacation? And I was like, kind of permanently. But we talked through it being a Slack channel and a monthly call. And I think I reached out probably in Slack. And we had maybe 15 women that joined us to start.
If that, Sarah, do you remember? I feel like it was a very small group. By the way, just quick, we're not really rebranding, but we're actually becoming a little bit more inclusive and thinking about dropping the wine nights and just keeping it to the bad bitches of the Bureau implied, because some people have a different relationship with wine or drinking in general.
Yep.
And we really want to make sure we're not excluding everyone. Like, it doesn't matter. Sometimes we'll have a glass of wine or a cocktail in our hand. Sometimes it's a mug of tea because it's a mug of tea kind of day. So we're kind of, I guess, positioning or rebranding. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's just continual improvement, right?
Yes. We actually had a lot of conversation about this, Sara and I, during our recent amazing retreat. Thank you so much for that, Sara. And that's why we were like, we need to drop that. We're just bad bitches in general. We're not always whining. I think the first call was about 6 or 8 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And at first we were broken up into kind of breakout sessions.
Yeah.
But then I think fairly quickly, we all just stayed in the same room. And it felt exactly like it was at the retreat where we were all, there was no agenda. It was all really free flowing.
Yeah.
There's always someone sharing a challenge or something that they felt really vulnerable about or a success. And there's no real direction, but in a lovely way.
There's never a dull moment. Like it never stops. Like we never are going, well, what are we going to talk about now? No, it's always like just very interesting, very vulnerable. And I think that if you go to just one, you think, I think, oh gosh, 7 o'clock on a Thursday night. Last thing I want to do is get on a Zoom, but I never regret it. Never, ever, ever. After I get off, I say, oh, that was awesome. These women were amazing and so supportive and so good, and the conversation's so rich. So Laura's really brought us all together in a beautiful way.
I think it's a group effort, really. I didn't do shit.
No, you can't deflect it. You said, let's do this.
Yeah.
I mean, we have like a running club and we've got a video game channel and we've got some other stuff, but Bad Bitches Wine Night and soon to be Bad Bitches, it shows what's possible in a Bureau club. When people get together and self-organize, and it's got a logo, which let's cue that up because it's pretty glorious. And I've got a shirt. I'm not wearing my shirt. But I think there are over 60 women that are in there now. And what's great is when a new woman joins the community and it's like, is there anything for women? I can say, well, the bad bitches are meeting over there. And it's fun. Now, before the Bad Bitches retreat, you did have an opportunity to get together in person at Owner Camp Palm Springs. And I just have to say that when y'all went out that night and you sent me that photo of you standing in front of the neon sign that said bad bitches, I was so happy inside because that's what you want. I felt like we achievement unlocked, right? They are out there and they are doing their thing. So share with everybody a little bit about what it was like to get together in person that first time.
It was amazing because I've been to many camps, many summits, and I think that it's the Laura factor. We just all immediately connected, and I think being on the calls before helped us to connect together in a way. We're just like, we want to go out to dinner together. Let's just all get together. And we laughed. I don't think I've laughed that hard ever in my life, like for that long, that hard. It
Especially in
was
the bathroom.
in the bathroom,
I need
outside
to
the
send you the
restaurant, in the restaurant.
I need to send you the video because I think I was attempting to take a photo, and then midway through trying to hit press on the photo, I realized I was actually recording
Doing
a
a
video of
video.
us. It
It
was
was so
hilarious.
funny, but watching it from the outside, you could see this sense of, I mean, it was camaraderie, it was love for each other, it was finding your people, and it was just wonderful. Even though I wasn't there with you, I could feel it, and it was everything. So if I'm not mistaken, I mean, it was a while ago. I think we had the 1 year anniversary of Bad Bitches. So we've got to be coming close to a 2 year anniversary, right?
Yeah, because I think I came to you with that idea a few months after I joined. And if I joined in
Yeah.
November, I would say it's probably
Yeah, it's coming up.
early 2021, most likely. I
Yeah.
haven't looked at I would have
Um,
to check my emails. But regarding the owners camp in Palm Spring, it's really Sara who grew it further, because there were a few of us that had been on calls previously, and we had agreed to going out for dinner. And Sara came to me and said, "Oh, I've noticed so and so and so and so are here. They're not part of the group, but can we just invite them?" And I'm like, "Yes." And that was great. I think Sabrina was one of them, and she had never been on
yeah.
the call. But it was really that feeling of not, when true friendship, you can just pick up where you left off. It doesn't matter how long you haven't spoken to each other. You just go straight soul deep. That's where you go. And that's exactly what Sara and I did. I think
Oh my
I was
gosh,
like, "Oh,
yes.
hi." And then we went on a walk. Remember? We just, I was like, "Hey, let's go for a walk." Sure. And we just went soul deep immediately. There was no awkward small talk. There is no, "So what have you been up to lately?" No, straight. We went deep.
I love that. That is exactly what happened. And that's what happened with all of us. Like every
Yeah.
time we get together now, it's soul deep right away. We feel connected. And we had two new women that came to the Bad Bitches retreat. And they both said how scared they were. They didn't know everybody. Am I going to fit in? And within like 4 minutes, they were like the stars. Everybody was in love with them. And they were like, "Oh, I found my people. I am so happy here." And I knew this was going to happen. I knew you'd be fine. And that's true for everybody that joins. They're all loved. They're all cared for. They're all instant. We have something, we have something special.
And they're all safe to share. And
Yeah.
it's, we don't do the bureau oath before each call because it's really implied. It's, you're in a safe space here. It can get as ugly as you need it to be, because no one's going to judge you, and you're going to find nothing but support.
Yeah. So, like we said, it's been going on 2 years, and you had that opportunity to get together in Palm Springs, which was amazing. But then this new opportunity comes together just for a Bad Bitches retreat. And Sara, you kind of spurred this. So can you share a little bit about how this came about?
Yeah, so being an extrovert, I booked an entire week in this mansion on Lake George for my company to come because I thought, well, wouldn't it be nice to spend a whole week together? And then my team was like, 7 days together? That might be a little ambitious. So we cut that down to 2 days, a leadership day, and then two company days. And so I had 3 days left. So I got this idea of who do I want to invite? Who out of like all my girlfriends, me and my local girlfriends, friends from afar, high school friends, and it was like no brainer. It was the bitches. I wanted them. I wanted to have them together. And so I put it out there. Would anybody want to come? And it was awesome because immediately people were like, yes, I'll come. Yes, I'll come. And so that's how it happened.
Yeah, how many people ended up joining?
I think there were
12,
originally going to
13?
be 12 of us, but I think one person couldn't come because of a conflict that happened last
Gotcha.
minute. Actually, two couldn't come last minute.
But then 2 showed up that were not supposed to come up,
Yeah.
remember?
So 12 maybe. Yeah. That sounds about right.
So you're getting together and people are coming in, and what was the first thing that like happens? I mean, I know there's stuff not to share, but I'm just curious, like what did you do? What was that first night like?
There was a lot of hugging.
Yes.
Sara also prepared those amazing swag bags for everyone, which was incredible. We all had like branded glasses and PJs and slippers, and it was immediately just bring yourself.
Yeah.
There's no one to judge you here. So really, I think for the first time, I spent 4 days without any makeup on and just PJs and a hoodie, and it felt amazing. It was just a lot of hanging around the fire. Oh, we got lost also. Remember?
Yes.
There was a lot of where are you?
It was dark. We were on the big
yeah.
resort and trying to find a
Yes.
fire pit.
It was hilarious. It was very kind of flashback to trying to find your friends at a bush party.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you go through all this, and how long were you out there for? Was it 4 days? 3 days?
3 days.
Yeah.
3 days. So you go through. Did y'all just not want to leave?
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
could have gone
And this
on
is
for
coming
longer.
from an introvert who really does not want to hang out with people. I did not want to go home.
No, it was awesome. It was awesome. There was so much support. It was so supportive.
And so then you have to go home, but I'm kind of guessing that there's talk of a Bad Bitches retreat next year.
Oh, it has to be.
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it
It
gotta
has
be.
for sure.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And possibly some mini meetups like, hey, we're going to New York City to see a show,
Yeah.
or we're meeting in Chicago. Who wants to be here?
Now, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you about the porch, because I've heard a little bit, and we don't need real dirt, but I just heard that the porch was like this magical place that brought everything together.
The porch was this incredible wraparound porch that looked over the lake. And I would kick myself if I slept in. I slept in one morning and I was so mad. I'm like, oh man, I missed part of the morning conversations. I raced down in my slippers, and we're all wearing our matching PJs because that's what you do when you're on a slumber party. And I would sit there and it was freezing cold, and we all put our blankets on, we covered up and we talked. And it was an incredible mixture of personal and work and just incredible golden nuggets. Like you're just sitting there and you're all super present with your hot coffees, chilling out. I don't know, what did it mean to you, Laura?
The porch was everything, but the porch extended because the same happened on the deck. I think it was just that being in such beautiful surroundings and having exactly that slumber party vibe to it. And yeah, I think I just always popped my head out to the porch and criticized everyone for how cold it was and why you sitting outside. And I was like, wait, that's where all the fun is. So I'll just go get a jacket and shut up. But that's where all the best sharing was happening. And yeah, it started early. We started sharing early. It was 8 a.m.
Early.
and
Like
like
it.
straight into it.
Right into it early. When we had our company retreat, which was right before the Bad Bitches retreat, we have a bunch of new young women working at Mannix, and they didn't really know each other, and some were very nervous about getting to meet each other. And I encouraged them to have a sleepover one night where they all were in this big room where all the beds were together, and they had a sleepover night. And the next day they were all out on the porch having a glass of wine, and I looked out and I could see that they were connecting and that they were having such a great time. I looked out and I'm like literally having chills down my spine, and my hair was up on my arms because I was getting chills. And Cameron, one of the young women, looked at me and said, "We're the next generation of bad bitches."
Ah,
And I was like, "Oh, this is so awesome." And
amazing.
they are now meeting every Thursday night, first Thursday of the month, for their own Bad Bitches night, and they get together and they've created their own community, and so we got a little spin-off happening.
Well, that's it. Like what you want is for people to pick up what you've created and carry it even further. And you know, there's this beautiful thing that happens when you get a community that's moving forward. I mean, it's part of why I had to leave my past love, my company that I started, Engine, was because I just got addicted to this. And when you reached out to me and said, "Hey, we want to do this in-person Bad Bitches retreat. What do you think?" I was just like, "Yes, you have to," because that's what this is. That's what the Bureau is. It's about getting together in person. It's about getting together online, but it's about getting together however you can. So I love where it is now, and I love that it's evolving. You know, Laura, you were saying earlier about, you know, dropping the wine night off of the Bad Bitches and just being the Bad Bitches of the Bureau, which is fabulous. But I'm curious. I mean, the Slack channel is doing well. The monthly call. You're going to do another treat. But what else? Any other fun stuff coming up?
Yeah, Sarah and I were talking a lot about it, actually. I think we kind of had a bit of an aside of where do we want this to grow,
Yeah.
and making sure that people get what they're looking for. So really asking people before they join, like, what are you hoping to get out of this? We want to make sure that, you know, it's not a waste of your time. We want to make sure that we're a good fit, I guess, to use marketing terms. There was that. We actually had agreed to writing you a long email, which we never did. It will come. You will wake up to a long email one day. But
I went
yeah,
for it.
really feeling that, making sure that we preserve the initial intention of the Bad Bitches, which is, if you're looking for support, you will find it. Um, Again, you were talking about the whole leadership. Not all of us are in leadership positions.
Right.
I think most of us are, but not all of us. And it's not all about you as a professional woman. It's like all of the aspects of your life. So it's about being clear, but yeah.
So I think you hit on something really important there. And just the other day, I had somebody reach out to me and say, you know, this thing that was just shared in the Bureau community, it doesn't feel like something that a business organization would share. And I replied, well, that's why we're not a business organization. We're a community of humans that are trying to move forward, to help each other, to accomplish things, yes, to do well in business, yes, but to do well in life and to do well in our communities and to do well with our families. It goes so far beyond any concept of a 9 to 5 job and an association or any crap like that, right? And so, what I really found when I saw the Bad Bitches form and the way you're doing it, I was like, this is it. This is taking it beyond the idea of a work thing out into our lives. And that's what we want. That's what I want. And you can deflect this all you want, okay? But I think what you have done with the Bad Bitches, both of you, is the goal for the rest of the community. It can get so easy to lose your way. And then you see people just helping each other and laughing, and you go, that's what we're supposed to be doing. I got so caught up in the library. I got so caught up in programming. I forgot the core is people. So thank you for that. And as we are kind of getting to the end of this episode, is there anything else you'd like to share with women who may be watching?
If you feel like you're alone, you're not.
Yeah.
That's why it started. And I think that's still true today. It's, you don't need to do this alone, and whatever this might be.
I think that the girls, the bad bitches, we have your back when you come in, and you will, no matter how unnerving it is to join a new group and feel like, are they going to like me? They will like you. We will love you, and we are so excited to meet any new members. So hop on the
There
call.
you
You won't
go.
regret it.
Well, I love you both so much, and it's been so fun and exciting to watch the two of you working together and see what you've been able to accomplish. And on behalf of myself and the community and the women in the community, thank you. It
Thank you
really
for
is
creating this.
inspirational.
Thank you for creating this community. The whole community is just beautiful, and we've learned so much. And thank you for what you've done.
You got
Yeah,
it.
you're the foundation of all of it, so take
Yeah.
some credit.
You're right. I'm a bad bitch.
Honorary for sure.
I got the bad bitches backing me up.
Definitely a mindset.
It's the mindset. You've got the mindset, Carl.
To everyone watching, thank you so much. And please, if you're not a part of the Bureau community, consider joining. We'd love to have you with us. All right, we'll see you later.